Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for another interview in celebration of Student House's 70th anniversary, which we are celebrating this year. We are gathering marvelous memories and fascinating facts about Student House and reminiscing with former residents, the team, and Victoria League members associated with Student House. Today, my guest is the one and only Doreen Henry, our very own General Manager of the Victoria League for Commonwealth Friendship, as well as Student House for the last 14 years since May 2010. Hi, Doreen.
Hi.
Thanks so much for speaking to me. So let me tell you a little bit about Doreen. Doreen was born and brought up in her early years in East Kilbride, Scotland, along with her two brothers. Her dad was a shipbuilder, and when the Clyde shipyards closed, the family relocated to Harlow in Essex when she was 10. She learned how to switch accents very well for many years, so it was Scottish at home and English out on the move. Before working with the Victoria League, Doreen held various positions, including Training Services Manager for the Federation of Plastering and Drywall Contractors, World Centre Manager for the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts for 7 years, and Senior Community Play Officer for Stevenage Borough Council for 18 years. Doreen has traveled extensively, although this is curtailed a bit due to the lovely Darcy, our favorite Student House dog. Her most recent trips included Europe, Ecuador, Peru, Costa Rica, Cuba, Australia, and the States. Wow. And speaking of Darcy, Doreen volunteers for dogs as therapy with her, including visits to hospital wards. She has also represented Dogs as Therapy at Crufts for the last 2 years, helping them publicize the charity to the dog community, with Darcy, of course. And Doreen is awaiting training to become a dog assessor. Doreen was a keen cyclist, completing the London 46 bike ride 4 times, plus many other bike events. She's also was a ride leader for a number of years for the British Cycling, including for their women-only rides and the Breeze scheme. And that is a really great bio. That's fantastic, Doreen. It was fun. It was fun to write it out after you. I mean, I had to cut it down from everything you told me, so that was fantastic.
Yes, well, I'm quite old now, so obviously I've been through a lot. So.
Oh, no, don't say that, but that's fair enough. So let's get into some questions. What made you want to join the Victoria League and the Student House as GM?
To be really honest, I was looking for a job, and it was a job that came up. It was an agency we were recruiting, and it was very similar on the face of it to the work that I did for the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts, where I ran a hostel in Hampstead. So it was very similar to that, and I thought I'd got all the skill sets that were needed. I was looking for a new job, and I quite fancied going back to residential. So to be honest, I didn't know about the Victoria League or Student House until I actually applied for the job and came for the interview.
Yeah, and here you are.
And here I am, 14 years later.
Yeah, absolutely. So in those 14 years, you must have done and seen a lot of things happen in the Victoria League and Student House. Is there any 1 or 2 things that stand out in particular?
Yeah, I mean, things that stand out for me, I mean, I consider myself like a young girl from a working class background. And to meet the Queen, those sorts of things are really thrilling. And also in lockdown, it was very strange, and London was very strange in lockdown. I don't know if you stayed in London in lockdown.
Yes.
But I mean, to ride a bike down Oxford Street and not see anyone, or to ride to the Palace and there's nobody outside the Palace. It was very surreal. So I think those are the things that really stand out for me. And the great events that we get to go to, as members of the Victoria League, the royal events and even the other events, you get to meet lots of different people who've got lots of life experience. And it's always interesting to hear what other people are doing. And then you've got all the students, and the students are fascinating as well. I mean, they've come halfway around the world, a lot of them, first time out of their own country, some of them, and they land here. And, I've just about 10 minutes ago, I spent some time in the laundry with a young man who's just arrived who doesn't know how the washing machines worked. And I mean, these are PhD students or master's students, but, they come from a country that don't use washing machines like that, or someone else does their washing. So yes, I think the variety is the one thing that is really good here. So to pick a few events would definitely be when I've met the Queen. And actually this week, Laura and I were at a reception at St James's Palace, and we took a student with us because it's really important that the students get those experiences as well.
So very exciting. You got to meet the King this week.
We did the King, the Queen, Duchess of Edinburgh and the Duke of Kent.
Very exciting. I guess, can you count how many times you've been to Buckingham Palace?
I've been to Buckingham Palace about 5 times. I've been to the garden parties, I've been to receptions, and I've been to events there as well. So probably about 5 times. I've also met the Queen at a reception at Windsor Castle, James's palace this time as well.
Those are amazing memories.
They are amazing sort of things that just people don't get to do. So I think that's a real privilege.
Wow, that's exciting. So Student House is so centrally located in such a great place in Bayswater.
Yeah.
So, what do you like about, or what do you love even about living in Bayswater?
Yeah, it's as you say, it's just so central. It's fabulous. I mean, you've got less than a 10-minute walk, and you're in Kensington Gardens, and you can actually keep walking through gardens. You can do Kensington Gardens, Hyde Park, St James, Green Park, St James's Park, and walk down to Embankment all the way through the gardens. So it is absolutely beautiful. Plus, it's only 2 stops to the West End, to the shops. You know, you can be in the biggest Marks and Spencers in the towns in London in about 10 minutes on the tube. Yeah, it's great. It's a great hub. There's a lot, you can get to the theatres very easily. So it is really ideal. I mean, if I ever was very rich and wanted to live in London, this is where I would live. I just think it's so good. There's so many tube options and bus options and that sort of thing. It's just a really nice place, and it's still got that sort of villagey feel about it. This part of Bayswater, it's not massively commercialised, because we're in an area that has a lot of hotels, so there's transient people, but it's still got a nice feeling with a garden and everything. So,
And it's not too built up either. It's not in things. So yeah, no, I can see all that. And I guess Darcy gets some amazing walks around there too.
Yeah, she does. She certainly does. And the other thing you have to mention, of course, is the garden, where we've got a communal garden with that. Which is, most people don't understand what they are. It's a bit like when you see 4 weddings and a funeral, they jump over a fence into a garden. It's one of those gardens. So it is a lovely little oasis. And we're very lucky in that we're one of the few places on this square that has direct access into the garden. So our students literally go out our front door, onto our patio, and then into the garden.
It is lovely.
It's very, very nice.
Particularly in the spring and the summer, it's lovely to be able to go outside. It's fantastic. So, this should be an easy answer for you, but why should Commonwealth students who are thinking of studying in London, why should they want to stay at Student House?
It's unique. It has a community in it that many other student accommodation no longer have. We have protected always the common room, so there's always somewhere that they can go and see other people. As I said earlier, lots of people, it's their first time away from home. So to have a community, we've got communal kitchens, so everybody gets to know each other. We do lots of celebrations of different cultures and different events. So it's all about Commonwealth Friendship. It's all about them learning about each other and cooking. The students have been here a while. We'll teach the younger students how to cook and all sorts. So it is really nice. And it's great for transport as well. As we were saying, they can walk to Imperial College. They go through Kensington Gardens to Imperial College. So it's lovely. If you want to stay somewhere that you've always got lots of people around, then yeah, it's an ideal place. I mean, some people don't like, it's an old building, it's got some small rooms, some big rooms. So, it's not everyone's cup of tea, but it is really nice, and it has a lovely community.
It is an old building, but that's quintessentially London, isn't it? I mean, Absolutely. If you want the experience, you want to live in a place that is, and I would say that is. And also that when I come, I just love the atmosphere because of the international flavor of everything going on, and the amount, and everybody's so friendly.
And we're sitting here now, and below me is a music room, and there's somebody practicing piano. And at the other end of the corridor, there's another music room, and there's actually somebody at the moment practicing viola. So you get those sorts of things, and it's not everywhere that happens. And we try to preserve, as you come into the house, its uniqueness, and it does look old-fashioned when you come in, but we keep it like that because we think that's nice. It goes with the building, and it makes it different as well. We haven't gone for wooden floors and all that sort of thing. We've kept its ambience, I think, is a good way of putting it.
Yeah, absolutely. Final question: what does being part of the Commonwealth mean to you?
Right. Well, as I said, when I took the job on, I knew about the Commonwealth. I'm from the era where you went to school and the Commonwealth was part of the curriculum, and you all visited. I was brought up in Harlow in Essex for my secondary school, and we all visited the Commonwealth Institute, which used to be on Kensington High Street.
I remember it.
Yeah, it was open 1962, apparently, to 2015. So, yeah, we used to go there and find out about the Commonwealth. So I did know about the Commonwealth. But being part of the Commonwealth for us is about friendship, and it's about teaching people about other cultures. And I mean, the Commonwealth isn't about the dominions and, Britain being in charge or anything like that. It's about everyone working together. And that's what we do with the students. And we try to help them educate. So we have, useful facts around, people's flags that say, can you guess which country this is? So we do education for the Commonwealth. But yeah, I think it's about being part of a massive organisation. I think it's something like a third of the world's population is part of the Commonwealth. So that's a big number of people. and we try to get everyone involved if we can with events to do with the Commonwealth. So yeah, I think it's great. It's something that's meaningful, and it does give people an experience. And if you come here because you're here and part of the Commonwealth, there are lots of experiences you can have through our events program. I mean, there's not many youngsters who go to a garden party, but every year we send at least 2 students to the garden party. So yeah. But I think the Commonwealth is something that is really useful. I mean, it's at the moment the big issue with the Commonwealth at the moment is the blue charter about the oceans, because more than just under half of the members are island states, and all the stuff that we're doing over here with our plastics is ending up over there. So there's a lot of campaigning and a lot of work that's done to educate people, making sure that the planet stays as it is and those sorts of things. So I think the Commonwealth's got a lot to offer. A lot of people don't see much of it. They just see it as maybe the Commonwealth Service, which coincidentally is now being broadcast live by the BBC for the last 4 or 5 years. That never used to happen. So it has got, I think it does have feeling of part of being a family as well. And I think the Queen was very much the head of the Commonwealth.
Yeah.
And in this month is the heads of the government meeting at which is called CHOGM, and that's at Samoa, which is why we were at the reception on Wednesday. That was the pre-Samoa meeting.
I think the king is very much just like his mother. I think he very much loves and respects the Commonwealth as well. Thank you, Doreen, for your valuable time and being my guest today. And
no problem.
I thank you very much. And thank you, everyone, for watching and for joining us with our Marvellous Memories, and hope to see you again.